Hello and welcome back to Rambit Castle Blood Tours to Tournament, and we're currently at the winners semifinals. So two teams advancing to the winners semifinals, Team Challenge Accepted and Team MenePlumbos. Both of these teams are quite good, but the Sanchi and Topi team is better because Light GG and Dan, they don't actually play together, and they haven't practiced. Dan obviously being a troll as well, so it's not probably gonna help their team effort. Even though they did get to the winners semifinals with their apparently very good teamwork. So yeah, this could be a quite interesting game. And because it's a new round, we have new civilizations. So player 1 and player 4 are Chinese, and player 2 and player 3 are Huns. So let's see what are they gonna buy from the tiny island store. I assume everyone go for Paladin. Dan being slow there again. Really slow. I'd say that Sanchi and Topi are gonna win the game, just because they are the better players, and Dan doesn't play RCB really as his like main game. Nice sniping, if you could say, from Topi there. He took out Fran's house guard without Fran even noticing it. And his own house guard is half HP. That was really good from Topi. That's gonna give him a small advantage over Light GG Fran. And what is happening in the middle? This is really bad. Team MenePlumbos has both bomber towers up. This is really bad for Team Challenge Accepted. That is really bad. Dan sending his paladins to I don't know where. They did Imperial Age at the same time though. Riven, Dan and Sanchi, and they have Keep at the same time, so the major difference that there is gonna be that is going to be favoring Sanchi and his teammate is the bomber tower, because that's gonna take a long time for those keeps to take down the one bomber tower. Bear in mind, Chinese, if you have Chukunu and garrison them in the towers, they won't give additional arrows that easily. Like 5 elite Chukunus give only 1 arrow to the tower, so you can't really take down the bomber tower really easily. It's gonna take a long time for that to happen, and Sanchi is not even garrisoning his Chukunus. Meanwhile, Dan is trying to garrison. He has 1 arrow from 1 tower, and that's probably because of the archer, probably not because of the Chukunus. Yeah, it doesn't look too good for Team Challenge Accepted. Sanchi is sending his Chukunus to help his ally. That's a good choice. He's gonna help. Is he gonna help? He's sending them back for some reason. I would have stayed there. The towers don't have anything garrisoned inside, so I'm not sure why is he going back now. Topi using his house guard that he managed to save earlier, weakening that gate by a lot. It's gonna be easier for him to get inside. Okay, so he's deciding to kill Green's buildings. I think it would have been better for him to just sit in that corner and just help his teammate fight. Fran from the Hans players advancing to the Imperial Age first. Let's see, 8 castles and 6 castles. So Franis should win the corner fight if it's gonna be 1 versus 1. But if Sanchi is gonna help Dopey, then these Tarkans are gonna die fairly quickly for Fran. Dan still garrisoning Chukanus to the towers, and 5 of them not even giving anything to the keep, which is interesting. Okay, they are giving 1 arrow to the curse tower. I'm not sure why are not they giving to the keep. That's interesting. Can't check if he's missing any upgrades. I think he has chemistry and all the upgrades. Well, this is strange. I'm pretty sure it used to give 1 arrow. It probably did, but due to the special modification called Fair Mod, RCB Fair Mod, I guess Chukanus do not give that 1 extra arrow anymore to the keeps. They just give 1 extra arrow to the curse tower. Chukanu obviously being a really good unit for raising because of that extra damage and those extra arrows it fires. So the towers for green are gone, and the towers for Dan are gonna be gone in a moment too. Yeah, this doesn't look too good for team challenge accepted. I mean, Fran is winning his fight, but the question is, will he win the fight when, yeah, Sanchi is now coming to help his ally, and I don't think these light Tarkans are they're just gonna die. And Fran is telling his teammate to come over there, although Tan is patrolling into towers. How many castles does he have? 5 castles and 8 castles for Sanchi. I don't think 8 castles is worth it for Chinese. I think 6 castles for Chinese is fine, because the military production for Chinese is super fast. It's like 5 seconds for each Chukanu. Possibly, is it 5? I think it's something like it's a really small number to spawn a unit from a castle for Chinese. So the last of the towers for blue are gonna be taken down in a moment. They have equal upgrades, but they don't have equal numbers, and red is shielding him, so it's not gonna work out. What are they doing? Yellow is buying Tamerlane. Okay, that's a good idea from him. The middle is basically his. He has the towers, and blue is losing his, so yeah, nothing wrong with that. Dan can't really do anything against 2 players. I mean, the Tarkans alone would be food for him, but Tarkans backed up by Chukanus are gonna be a pain. Fran having a lot of units there. I think what would be interesting is that he would use his elite Tarkans to attack Sanchi, and he would kill all these castles. I think that would be a lovely sight if he would come up with that idea himself. He has like almost 200 Tarkans, and he would easily take down all these castles. Although this Genitor is defending, it's not gonna do much versus 200 units. I would really love to see that happening, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Too bad. and Sanchi is sending some units back now to help deal with the Mordred. That would have been a really good idea and thing to do for Fran, to just storm into Sanchi's base with all of those Tarkans and attack those castles and just completely destroy his military production. That would have been epic. Sanchi had no units defending his base at the time, so it would have worked really well. Really well. But sadly we did not see it happen. I would have loved to see that happen. Sanchi would have been so mad as well, which would have been funny. He would have cried a lot. Too bad we didn't see it. So down fighting here. Fighting versus the Tarkans. Sanchi has this number of Tamerlane in the middle. I don't think they even need the Tamerlane to finish the game, because the Chukanu has a really powerful attack versus buildings. So the pyramid would go down with 200 Chukanus attacking it, and obviously they have the light Genitors, and the Hans player can easily shield the ranged units for his teammate. So what is going on here? Red has a lot of kings, green has just 3 kings. It looks like Dopey is gonna buy a unit. I think he's gonna buy something, possibly Subotai. I think he has the kings for a Subotai. Subotai is a good pick for Hans because the Han player has the upgrades for cavalry archery, and it's a good idea to pick it. And this Genitor is gonna be really good for every fight. Okay, so what is going on here? Dan and Sanchi having a small fight. I think Dan is gonna win this one. Yeah, Dan is winning. Sanchi's gonna go back. But it doesn't matter because the Tamerlane are on the hill and they're gonna back up the units, the retreating units, so it's not gonna work. And Dopey is now pushing with the Genitor. 1 hit, 1 kill. He can even take down those bombard towers quite easily, and he's doing that. He can do that with the watchtowers and the other bombard towers too. This looks like GG to me. Tan is asking Sanchi what he should buy. Yeah. Yeah, obviously Team Challenge Accepted has given up at this point. They see that they can't win the game, and so they're just chatting with their enemies. That's interesting, really interesting. Don't see that happen in a game, in a tournament game, too often. Okay, those bomber towers going down. Pyramid is gonna go down soon too. I assume Sanchi is gonna send some Chukanus or the Tamerlanes to finish off green, if it's needed even. It shouldn't be needed. Yeah, this Genitor can do it alone. And Fran isn't even bothered enough to target the Genitor with his castles. So yeah, this is over. The winner of this game is going to finals, and Sanchi and Dopey are gonna be fighting for the first and the second place. So and Dan and Fran are gonna be going to the losers finals. This means they will be fighting for the third and the second place. So basically, even though they lose this game, they're still gonna get an award. They're gonna still be on the podium, and they're gonna get either third or the second place, depending on if they're gonna win in the next round or lose. So it's still all good for them. They're gonna still get something out of this tournament. They're not gonna go home empty-handed, that's for sure. So Tamerlane powering up. I don't think Dan is ever gonna resign. Like, that's not his style. He's gonna delay the game as long as he can, and he's gonna just be a nuisance for them. Okay, Charles Motel for Dopey. They're gonna attack now, and Dan is gonna die. What did he buy even actually? Fran told him to buy a boat. Did he actually buy a boat? Yes, he did. He actually bought a boat. He has Alexander Nevsky and 4 Mordred rather, in this boat, and he's going for Sanchi, but that's not gonna work. He has just one Alexander Nevsky. And Sanchi has 2 canoes around his base, and he has the Light Chater defending his pyramid. Another thing is, Dan may die before he even lands those units, because the Tamerlane are right here, and they just need to be moved in and used. Okay, where is the ship go? Let's see. Alexander Nevsky, that unit doesn't even have any HP or attack. He's gonna deal like 2 damage to the. Let's see how much he dealt. He dealt like 64, I think, 64 damage, and now it's GG. Dan resigned. Tamerlane is hitting the pyramid, and Charles Mattel and Chukanus as well. So as expected, Sanchi and Topi advancing to the finals. They will be fighting for the first and second place. Dan and Fran will be advancing to the losers finals, and they will be fighting for the third and second place, depending on if they win the next game. If they lose the next game, they're gonna just get third place. If they win the next game, they're gonna go up against Sanchi and Topi once more, and then if they lose against Sanchi and Topi, then they're gonna get second place. Okay then, it's gonna be interesting.